This will be absolutely fine. I'm sure there will be absolutely zero issues with me being so very, very ill prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to hold on for 1 second because I didn't actually set up my cameras. As you can see, we do have 2 guests, and yet we don't. So bear with me as I grab this properly, because of the wonderful things that we do over here on the Tribe Talks podcast. Oh, there's Karth. Karth I can see. And then, okay,
you
cool.
Stream this on Twitch then?
I stream it on Twitch and on YouTube, yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll pull one of those up to see the chat.
Yeah, so I always do that too. I pull them up so I can read the chat. I ignore it a lot too, but
I mean that's part of the fun.
It's kind of how the podcast is set up to a degree, though, is to you engage with the Q&A from the Discord versus the live chat, unless it happens to be
usually
very, very relevant.
Yeah.
So look at your lovely.
I see you.
Yeah, just making sure you're looking pretty.
Moving my face around.
It's my face. Yeah. So there we go. Oh, no, why is that looking fucking weird now? Okay. Carthrick has resubscribed. Thank you, Carth.
It came through I think 3 days ago. I just haven't popped in a stream this week, so.
Ah, how dare you?
I know. Well,
listen.
Work's been crazy. That's all I've got. Work's been crazy.
Fair. So, welcome everybody to Tribe Talks, supposedly a Galaxy of Heroes podcast where we sometimes talk about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Today we are joined by special guest Sanjita. Thank you, Sanjita. How you doing, brother?
Hey guys, happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
Sick. And Carth's here as well.
I am.
What's going on, bro? In spirits. Spirit. I didn't realize it was that kind of stream. I'm on it. I've got some spiced gold rum. Will that do?
Text the missus to bring you drinks. That's what I do.
Call the wife.
I have to call her because she won't answer text messages. God, she's awful about that.
Yeah,
she means well, but never hears a text message. Always have to call.
I imagine it's probably maybe a little bit too early to maybe imbibe alcohol at your time of the world, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So, and it's
quarter
Sunday.
Afternoon.
That's a very reasonable time. What time is it where you are, Sanjita?
It is just after 3 p.m.
It's even more reasonable for Sanjita. See, it all makes sense. My phone, gosh. No, I'm only joking. Obviously, I wouldn't drink on a Sunday evening, not when you've got work in the morning, because that just wouldn't be very conducive to having a good and productive day.
I mean, if I'm not looking to have those, though.
What if I don't want to have a productive day? Yeah. So special guest, Mr. Sanjita himself. How have things been? What is new in the world of Sanjita?
Going pretty good. I just made a video called "Why Do You Suck at Galaxy of Heroes?" or trying to help people understand why they might suck at Galaxy of Heroes.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, having fun. We're getting close to the end of Era of Andor. This is the first. For the last one, I went 3 stars with everything. Didn't buy anything. This one, I went 5 stars. So that's been working out pretty good. And on both accounts, just getting mostly top 30 in Coliseum and
nice. Yeah,
pushing forward. It's really a lot of tokens you're getting from those events. You're just drowning in tokens. So I'm getting close to getting Leviathan and Profundity really quickly back to back.
Nice.
On my second account, which is that's where the fun planning is on an alt account. On a main account you've had forever, you just kind of picking up whatever's new, and then everything
Pretty
else
much,
is kind of well, maybe I'll R8 here, R9 there. But yeah, interested to see what the next era is. I think it'll be Mando's.
Yeah,
or something for the new movie. But
almost has to be right.
Definitely around the content cycle. I don't know how much will be from the new film, but definitely around the show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because they wouldn't have had time. They won't have time to build anything, so they'll have to draw on old stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think we've discussed it quite a bit on previous Tribe Talks, but I can't imagine it would be anything else, apart from Mando content, because it's the first film we've had since 2019. It's still a fan favorite. I know this is not an indicator, but it's just an extra thing would be the icon for the game in the App Store has changed to Mando and Grogu. Yeah. It's all the little things that are this feels a little bit like that's the direction we're going in. So, course. Yeah. Are you excited at all for that? Sorry, Garth. The Mando and Grogu film. Are you guys hyped for that? You interested or not bothered?
I mean, I have a 1-year-old, so it's hard to go out and see a movie now. Sadly, that's a cliche, but yeah, I haven't been out to a movie in a while. It'll be cool. I'm still trying to get through Andor, so I'm not really caught up on all things new.
I'll be honest, I haven't.
Star Wars, sadly.
I think I've seen 2 or 3 episodes of season 2 of Andor. Finding the time to sit down and watch stuff is difficult. He says that. I've still managed to watch Maul, so.
Yeah, I watch plenty of other stuff, but it's hard to find time for that. I'm just,
I think
part of it tired watching it. I get my phone
time
sleep.
Commitment.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer of a watch. Maul's is a tighter run time. It's easier to sit down and enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 of that. It's pretty cool.
Well, I think Maul episodes are only like 20, 30 minutes long, aren't they? So it's not like you have to sit down for an hour to watch a political intrigue thriller type thing like Andor. And it's the weird thing, right? Because it is good. It is a very good show. But sometimes like the thought of it's not like laid back watching, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to.
There's a lot going on. You got to be engaged.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to turn off the brain and sit down and watch something. So yeah, I've done that, and I've watched like an episode or 2 of the new season of The Boys, because that's also turn your brain off.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm on. Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed The Boys. I know a lot of people like to slag it off for some reason, but to me, I just look at it as really stupid, satirical, fucking dark superhero stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. Everybody's a massive dickhead. I get it.
You should watch the Honest trailers for that show.
Oh man, I haven't watched Honest trailers in ages. They're good, yeah.
Oh yeah, you should watch those.
Yeah, no, they've got some really good episodes. It's a good format for a YouTube channel, that is. So yeah. And what do you think about Maul Shadow Lord? You got feelings on that?
No, it's just cool. I mean, I've always liked Darth Maul. Phantom Menace came out when I was like 6 or 7. He just looks so cool. I mean, the red and black and the horns, his double lightsaber. So I'm just like, I was sad that he was like gone, but they've really milked him as a character for all he's worth.
Kind of
like after what everyone would say, he's dead.
Yeah.
Bringing him back and all over the place. But no, I think he's sick. It's cool to see how things unfold. I've seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's always the short point on any kind of content that's between episode 3 and 4, it's like the impact on the galaxy is just very limited overall, unless it's something they like already confirmed. Like Rogue One is kind of like, well, they all had to die at the end, right? So like with the Maul Shadow Lords, like how much of an impact is that really going to have on the galaxy? Everything's just kind of like they're in a box of what they can do. So it'll be cool to just be like a little side show of what's going on. And I'm sure it'll be a good content factor for Galaxy of Heroes. There'll be some good characters in there. But
yeah, definitely. Oh, we got Meathead in the chat. Hi, Meathead. How you doing, buddy? I've been enjoying Maul. Sorry, go ahead.
They've got a little bit more. They've got a little bit more wiggle room than they had with the Kenobi series, because Maul has a finite end where he gets broken and goes to Malachor to basically kind of live by himself. We know where that happens, or we know that it happens by the time we get to Rebels, but there's quite a bit of time between now and then. And so we can kind of see the rise of his empire and what we saw in the Solo film, and then kind of the, banishment or how he ends up losing that. So there's still a better story to tell to a degree than what we had with like the Kenobi show, where it's like, he can't die, and he can't die, and she can't die, and he can't die. It's just like, cool. Yeah, exactly. I love a story with 0 stakes.
Yeah, everyone has plot armor.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Leia's falling from a 30-foot building. What will happen next? She survives. Oh my God, Kenobi is dueling somebody. What will happen next? He survives.
Like you imagine the rug pulls, like, oh, she actually died, and now the Leia that we have in the main plot, she's a clone. The OG Leia was actually a clone. Sorry guys, retconned.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
Star Wars doesn't do retconning. Surely not. Oh dear me. Yeah. It's I'm just glad we're having some pretty good content come out recently. Like, I've enjoyed Maul Shadow Lord. I think it's actually, like, the animation style has been pretty cool, even if it feels like the whole thing is about how cool can we make Maul look. Like, let's just make this guy a badass in every scene.
Well, that's the thing I like about the story though so far, is they're not trying to change him from who he is at his core, right? He's not really a Sith at the moment, but he's still a bad guy, right? He's still a villain in the story. He's not there to have a change of heart and be redeemed and anything of that nature. He still has his own objectives his own motivations, and they're not changing that about the character. And I kind of enjoy that because, that's always the storytelling that we get through when we're dealing with like the light side or the morally good characters, is that they always have these hang-ups and constant plot points that are very tropish and repeatable, where it's like, oh my god, the people are in danger, what will we ever do? I don't know, sacrifice ourselves, go back and win against all odds, or name other thing that usually happens in those environments. And so I like with this one, they're kind of like, well, we're just going to lean into being a bad guy, and we're going to just lean into diving deeper into being a bad guy, which just it gives you more creative narrative direction than just, oh my god, they live, they died, they go in another direction.
I quite like the new droid, Two Boots. Is it Two Boots? I think he's called. It's the droid and like the police captain. I can't remember the name of the police captain now.
I'm bad with names, so like any kind of name, I just think of them as like their descriptions. Yeah, I don't actually know.
Scribe, read the Discord chat.
There is no Discord chat. Oh, wait a minute. Let me read the Discord chat. Oh, yes, I shall try. 1 second. We will adjust. We're a little bit too close in on Sanjita right now. Hang on.
I'm a big floating head right now.
Hold up. But no, I think I can't remember the name of. I know the droid is called Two Boots. I just can't remember the name of the like the police captain guy. But I think they're an interesting. They're an interesting duo, as it were, and quite likable. I think it's like in one of the episodes, because I think they've got 4 out or 3 out right now. I'm not sure. 4 in total.
It's 2 every week.
2 a week, is it? Yeah, I feel like there's the element of him being like the overworked cop who's married to his job is definitely a trope that we see in far too many like cop-based procedural stuff. It's like, oh, he misses his son's birthday type thing. It's like, I can see them leaning into that quite heavily already. I'm like, okay, that's, a little bit hackneyed, but that's okay. Otherwise, the characters are, they're quite likable all the same. So, yeah, it's cool. I look forward to watching more of that. So, hopefully, more good content like that. It gives me hope for Mando and Grogu eventually. Because the trailers seem okay so far. Right? I don't know if you guys watched the trailers.
I've seen them. Not a huge. I distance myself from as much as I can, because I feel like when you get so many little like snippets out of context, it's very hard to understand why those things are being said. It's just like, cool, I get it. We're trying to drive some hype, but I mean, I'll see it regardless. So I'll just put my head in the sand until release date.
Fair.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, because it's like in a trailer, I'm always just waiting for something to happen, or like I know this can't happen because I saw this in the trailer, so it's yet to come, or like is this a flashback? Can I not trust that? It just leads me just internally to do too much speculation. So
yeah,
I try to stay away from it too.
Yeah, that's fair. I tend to try and stay away from like plot points and spoilers and stuff like that, because it's just annoying. It's annoying to have story points spoiled for you. But I'll usually watch a trailer because I like to get excited about stuff, and that usually is what lures me in. So that's what in just over a month. I think it drops like 22nd of May, 21st of May, something like that. So I'll try and get to the cinema for that one. Should be good. Oh, maybe it is sooner than that. I'm not sure. Oh, his name is Lawson. That's it. Lawson, which is...
May 22nd. Sorry.
22nd, right. Lawson is a really funny name for a character who is a law officer, right? Bit on the nose. Bit on the nose.
Creative juices were flowing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair.
So, do you think there's going to be a full Constable team soon functioning, and who's going to come in from that for that?
The only way I see a full Constable team coming in the direction of like everyone having the tag and not using Jawas and the Tuskens to fill in the difference is if they do like a micro era where they do like a 1 month era, release 2 marquees, build out the rest of the team, and then start the Mando and Grogu era after that. That's really the only way I kind of see them doing that particular thing. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense to go through the effort of putting them in there and then rug pulling the reason to put Tuskens and Jawas with it. Now, granted, I would love to have any better options as constables besides what's currently in the game.
Yeah.
So if they want to bring me 2 more constables that will better suit the team, then I'm fine with that. But as it sits right now, I don't love. Kara's not bad, but she's really not gonna do much. And she, since what's his nuts, Cobb Vanth isn't a scoundrel tag, she can't get the other part of her kit activated. And he's not a rebel, so she can't have the other part of her kit activated. Which is unfortunate. So she's basically a turn meter reducing stun that can't really do any damage and can't really taunt as a tank. Pup, I don't really care for. He's not bad, but I don't really care for. And Lobot is
not bad.
It's not.
Is he not bad?
I don't know. I think with everything that he gets,
bad.
Everything he gets from Cobb Vanth's leadership and unique, I think kind of helps make him better. But I can't see Lobot being there at all because Lobot was retooled so aggressively to work with Sortie that I can't see a reason that you could get them to come back together. Honestly, I'm a little upset that they didn't allow us to just use 2 Tuskens and 2 Jawas, because I was going to go Chief Nebbit and Scavenger and then Tusken Chieftain and Tusken Warrior and put it all under him. But without the Constable tags, you're basically you're pretty well hamstrung in some game modes without, because it's going to take a minute to get your tags going. Now, granted, if you're fighting what you're supposed to counter, right, the Hutt Cartel or pirates or scoundrels in general, it shouldn't take long to engage the deputize function, but they definitely want you to try to start with 2, and it's like, okay, well, it's Kara and Cup, I guess. I don't love that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I don't know if you fit that description perfectly, but like Grief Karga in season, was it 3 or 2, where he was like kind of decked out in robes.
Magistrate.
Magistrate. Magistrate. Like, I don't know. Maybe that'd be a stretch, but that'd be cool.
At least that would be sort of tangentially connected to Mando as well. So if they were going to drop something, it would be like, oh, look, yeah, that kind of makes sense, sort of thing.
Yeah, because like they're going to want to capitalize and they're going to need something to draw from. So it'd have to be. We haven't really got much from that last season, even though it was kind of a while ago at this point. So I think that could be some of the meat of a Mando era.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Depending on what Lucasfilm and potentially Disney was willing to release out early, they could easily do an era bringing in some Imperial Remnant characters or Mandalorian characters to bolster up Bo-Katan, to bolster up the Imperial Remnant squad, to maybe potentially set up the new Mando team for GL Mando, if that's going to be a thing that they want to do down the road. But that's kind of where my head's at, is like, whatever they're doing is either going to A, be setting up for the GL, or B, they're going to try to basically patch a few teams back together, because I mean, that's the only way to make these eras, usable, because if they're going to keep doing things like Andor, where it's like you get 2 new factions, one faction is going to be great, the other faction's basically just dead weight for a roster at the high end, and at that junction, who wants to go pursue another offensive team? It's nobody really wants to go get another team when we have only 11 for offense, and they're always countered by something simple.
It just goes back to the age-old issue of GAC, right? It's just it's just not getting touched.
I remember, we're on your podcast. I used to kind of do a podcast with Ken and Van Seal was on it, and Tassanex, and we were talking about in early 2024 about when are they going to fix Grand Arena and TW, and I thought at that point it was overdue. And I remember having the thought, well, once something is overdue, that's when I think they're on notice, and that's when I expect something to start happening. Like, just because it's overdue to me or the player base doesn't mean it's actually something we should expect something being done. But I don't know. We're 2 years past that at this point, and I'm like, we need something. Grand Arena and TW, they're just ancient. I mean, TW is gathering dust. Grand Arena is still the lifeblood of the game, but it's just, I have so many teams. Like, I'll scroll forever on my roster looking at piles and piles of high relic characters. I'm like, you don't count. You basically are useless. You have no place here. Why do you exist? I'm never going to use you.
You know what's really freaking wild?
It's hard to fix.
Is that July 19th, 2023. You know what significance that has for Galaxy of Heroes?
Yeah, Leviathan?
Yeah. It's nearly 3 years, dude, since we had a new capital.
Oh, I'm stoked about it. I'm happy about that, though.
Oh, really? I hate it, dude. I'm so over it.
My small account is about to get it. And I'm caught up.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's like you said, we think it's overdue, for sure. And the thing is, the longer the game goes on, the worse of a problem it becomes. But there's not even a hint of GAC or TW right now being looked at.
Yeah.
I know they're focusing on new stuff. Clearly, I get that. But man, please do something for GAC and TW.
I mean, I think it's actually good that fleets are kind of stale, because I kind of want that to be like, if they ever take crystals out of fleets, that would suck, because that's the one way the small accounts can reliably get crystals. I remember when they moved crystals to Grand Arena. At that point, I did well once they started that. I was like Kyber 2 to start, and then went to Kyber 1 pretty quickly. So like I noticed no difference. But when I was small on my main account, I was still able to get rank 1 squad arena and fleet arena and get way more progress way faster than I do on my small account that I started in 2024. So like, if they changed that, it would suck. And also for the capital ships, it's kind of a creative block on that, because you have the Executor, which when it came out was awesome. You destroyed the enemy capital ship, and then Profundity kind of one up that, because it's a better way to do that, even though it's not technically destroying it, it goes away. And then Leviathan, it was like, well, what can we do to one up that? Let's steal the ship. And that to me is actually more underwhelming than I think Profundity is the best ult in the game. Like, most ships you take over, it's like, okay, great, I can do a basic here and there.
I find it funny when you take over the Malev.
What's that?
When you take over the Malevolence and you can summon Vulture Droids.
Oh yeah,
that's quite funny
too. My favorite is if you take over any ship that can actually heal you a little bit or cleanse you. That's like the only, but that's like rare, like Hope One or something. Or
yeah. But you're all right. I do think they paint themselves into a corner, right? I don't know what
they do there, unless they did a complete overhaul of fleets, which I would hate too, because it's like that's what everything is planned for, especially like starting newer accounts.
Well, I think there's only a couple of ways that they can, because of how they've done it, right? You either keep on doing something that destroys the enemy capital ship or disables it, or you win the battle before they can ult, or you prevent the enemy from ulting. So a way to increase the cooldowns on the enemy's capital ship, or just disable the enemy's ult. You know, like,
or you could it could be like a double Chimera one where you insta kill 2 ships. Like that. Yeah, Chimeras feels more useful in a lot of ways sometimes.
The heal is nice.
Leviathan is the one I can consistently see a path to winning, even after getting ulted, or like a path to losing, even if I do ult. Like if you just don't have any ships, or like they don't have many ships.
Yeah,
because I won a lot of battles against Executor using like endurance when I had to like grind that way, but not Profundity. Profundity was like, you're done. If they do that ult, you are just done. I can count on one hand the amount of times I beat a Profundity after it ulted. So
yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, it's a rare thing. And I think you have to get pretty lucky with them just not getting a lot of assists. And that's the enduring issue I find with the Profundity fleet in general.
Yep, and now it's like number 2 after it got one up by Executor for about a year, and like get back down there, Executor.
Oh man, I was fuming about the whole punishing one / rogue. Like the rogue one only exists because the punishing one does, right? They had to unfuck what they did with the punishing one. They're like, let's just bring out an equally broken marquee ship to put profundity back on top of the exec. You're like, okay.
And then let's just buff Leviathan just because alongside it.
And nerf the Chimera. For reasons.
Yeah. Oh, you have to nerf Chimera. That's on the checklist for every ship update.
And by the way, the Scimitar's getting a new unique. So yeah, no, it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. But yeah, I'm just tired of using the Leviathan to climb. I want something new to chase and then to make fleets interesting again. But who knows? I don't know how CG are going to introduce ships to the game now, because it's not going to work in Coliseum or the error system. So
I think you could probably tack like this one on that at the end, like the final unit release, like the 6th one is a ship or something, but it would be kind of limited to one, or they do a whole era where it's just ships and it's like a ship Coliseum, which is harder to see, but I could see like that 6th unit being a ship here and there because you already have a full team of 5.
I don't see them
also
having...
with like, you don't see them what?
I don't see them having to worry about it. They can just introduce a marquee outside of the air system and be done with it. Like, there's nothing that limits them from having to bring a marquee through the era system for a ship in particular. They can just go, we're going to run the marquee event outside of the era, and there you go.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, there's no reason they have to.
That's the thing as well, though, because it's like the way the era leveling system works and gearing. Ships, unless they are pilotless, are tied to the gear of the pilot. Yeah. So that changes how it would interact with the error system, because presumably the pilot won't necessarily be an error-based unit. So
it's too convoluted. The amount of things you're trying to solve for, it's just not worth it. Do you release it as a galactic chase, release it as a different type of marquee event, and just be done with it. There's just no reason to fuss with trying to release it as an era. But I mean, that doesn't mean that they can't set this up and then run it in conjunction. It's just the only reason why we want it to, or not want it to, but think it should run in conjunction with an era is because doing like a double marquee release would be incredibly taxing on most players. And so that's the only part where it gets really challenging to see them release it anyway outside of that, because like, oh my God, how do you deal with 2 marquees being released at the same time? That's just a lot of things to throw at the wall, particularly wallets.
Well, you can't say wallets without wall, Kath. So it's a bit of a weird conundrum. I don't know how they, and that's probably a contributing factor as to why we haven't seen a new fleet. But otherwise it has to be just legendaries, because like the error unit itself could be a ship, right? The journey guide unit could be a ship, and the like conquest units can be ships, and then they could bring back galactic chases. But it, like you say, it gets really taxing. If we're doing the error-based system and we've suddenly got galactic chases like once a quarter, that would be pretty hard to keep on top of.
I do miss galactic chases, though.
They were good, weren't they?
Where you could actually get 5 or 6 stars.
That's the goal. Just spend more money.
Just wail harder. Yeah, because you could get like 5-6 stars at like 5,000 crystals or something, wasn't it? It was pretty affordable, and usable straight away because the error system wasn't in back then. Alas, how are you finding Coliseum these days? What's your thought in this second era?
So something I realized is like if you are a free player, and I am going for like the 5 stars, so it's a big crystal investment. You kind of can benefit a lot more during the times where everyone's having a hard time, because since casting came out, I'm like, oh great, my team's gonna work well together, we actually have a lead, like yay. But I like my rank is plummeting from that. Like for the first 2 months I was getting top 30 like every single day, and now I'm getting top 60 if I'm lucky, and then sometimes falling out of that to top 90. So I'm getting less era currency.
Mm-hmm.
But I think since it works well for everyone else is like, yeah, I'll invest in this and I'll actually, put more effort into trying to score high in Coliseum. So ultimately, doesn't benefit me that it works well. I am good at like grinding it out when it was like just Clea and then whoever was second, that girl, and then
Val, was it? Yeah, I think it was
like
Val.
even though like everyone got kind of stuck, like I got like one lucky where I forget what level everyone was stuck at. What was it 35 or 29 something? I forget already. It wasn't that long ago, but everyone's stuck at something, and I like barely got past it, and that let me get me. I was getting close to top 10 at that point, but everyone hated it, and I was on board too. Like, yeah, this does suck. We do need a change, but ultimately that's not in my own interests selfishly, but it is better for people that it works well together. And I hope that future eras they just have a leadership to start, because it really just feels bad to have your best move being a basic. Like this one character's basic. Like, oh yes, I'm getting around to Clea. I can use her basic. Let's go.
It was really dumb that the undermine mechanic only became useful once you had Cassian. It's like it because it was like it lasts for one turn and you will not get another turn before they cleanse it. So it's like, right, okay. So you never gained the benefit of it until Cassian came out, and then when Cassian drops, it's like, oh my god, undermine is freaking amazing now. Like you just do that mass assist and take off like half the health of the unit. You're like, okay, cool. But yeah, it is a bit weird to not have a leadership until the 5th marquee of an era.
Yeah.
And then you get 2.
It did make the decision easy for me to steal all of Major Partaga's era level currency and just give it to Cassian and the others, because I'm like, I don't need you guys. Like you're useless to me.
I found that absolutely wild that just because they made Major Partagaz a retreatable unit is why he had to come out second. But then you give the other girl the unique that allows them to perform better, but only into a certain point. And they release Major Partagaz, and it's like, well, but then Cassian comes in tangent, and so it's like, I don't think I have run a single battle besides like trying to get feats in Coliseum with the ISB faction. There's just no point. Like, the Rebel fighters do the job so much better. It's like the only thing I wish now is that there wasn't a clause that like totally ruined putting the one of the ISB as the 5th, because POW sucks. But outside of that,
my POW.
Why didn't they give us Luthen, dude?
Like even a weak Luthen, just POW so bad.
Speaking of Partagaz, though, Jesus Christ, doing his marquee is like pulling teeth. Like
I was just about to say, that's the only marquee I can remember where it was a hard time. Usually I just marquee hit auto, like even if I don't level them up yet. But like the 4-star one, like once you can do it, once you have 4 stars, I like actually kept losing a bunch of times. I had to get him to like level 20 or something, so I couldn't steal all of his currency. And I was like, because he doesn't, even if you level him up, he doesn't do any damage himself. He's calling his inept crew to do damage, and they're terrible. So it was just like,
I was impressed they put the era level so low on the ads. Like for somebody who deals
level
0 damage, it's 2, 5, 15, and 25. I think at the end, it's like, but for people that do no damage, and you're like, let's just let that ride, and then you have a character that retreats, and so it's like if you lose the probe droid and then Krennic dies, like, well, fight's over. Like I had to play on manual to make sure the probe droid didn't kill itself.
It was definitely a choice.
That way I could 3-star it, and then I just went back and simmed it for the rest of the time. Because otherwise, dude, I do not.
I like 2-starred it the first time, so I had to do it again. It's like,
and I don't know if you noticed, but the IPD, when it blows up, it's supposed to revive if somebody's got 3 stars of rank 3. But there's one of the tiers where he doesn't. He just stops reviving. So it's like, God damn it! Like I need this mechanic. It's the only thing that does damage. But yeah, it was such a weird choice to give us a unit that does no damage with really low level support, and you're just like, oh, for God's sake. I wasn't a fan.
I'm used to marquees just being reliable. Like, I can tell they had to put effort in it, so I feel bad that I'm just skipping this tutorial. But like, I'm just gonna auto it. And I'll figure it out later.
I am interested to see how the ISB faction plays out in the grand scheme of things, because it is an entire faction with 0 attackers.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that'll be great for conquest when there's that feat.
Yeah, because
theoretically,
Krennic is support, Cardigaz is support. The girl's a support. The droid's a tank, and the other droid's a support. The damage dealer is basically Krennic and the summoned Death Trooper. That's your damage for the team. And I'm like, oh my god.
It's the new Tals and Night Sisters, but worse.
Yeah. Well, and I think Cassian's going to go live on defense. He's never going to be really an offensive team because of the way the GAC meta sits. Cassian's team wants to kill Luthen, which means you're already going to give up 3 banners in the fight. Unless you do everything you can to try and fight it. And so it's just like, I got to fight a core mechanic of the team for banners. This is so gay. I'm like, why can't you just please either let this work on offense well, or let it at least be strong on defense? Let it.
Yeah, and then if there's like if there's like an easy counter we find for it, it'll just be like abandoned.
Oh yeah, like Treya, just boop.
Treya beats most things.
Yeah, Treya just puts isolate on Vel, and then you go kill Cassian or because Cassian's not immune to instant defeats unless it's one of the Omnis. And then because once you shut it down, it's just like, okay, well, that's cool. But that's where I'm stuck at with a lot of things in this game. It's just there's so many things where it's like, can we just fix the part where PvP is not as great as it could be? But I'm going to take this one brief moment as an opportunity to be like, well, we should go look at some questions because we're already in hour.
Yeah, we are flying through. Yeah, let's open up the questions because we usually do get quite a few when we have guests on the show. So
that and half the topics we just covered here is literally probably questions. So
absolutely. Okay, Tribe Talks questions. Oh God, we do have some questions. Shit. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so first question comes from Rurik. He says, "Hi guys, I have Leia on defense. I'm assuming it's GL Leia, not Princess. But it could be Princess, I suppose. What Datacron do you recommend for her? The Drogon level 9? It's definitely GL Leia. With Riposte or the Darth Vader Dual End FDC or something else. Thank you."
I mean, if you have the Darth Vader team, then I don't know why you'd sacrifice that Kron.
Yeah, it's too good.
I can speak more to this. So like my small account is an account where it's like you can't capitalize on these new focus Datacrons, but they're really good with stats, and I have Leia. So I normally set her on that account with the Wookiee Cron because it's got a lot of health and crit avoidance and defense, all kinds of good stuff. So I wouldn't do the Darth Vader one. I know it does have some decent stats. But if you have, well, no, I don't know. The jury's out for the Drogo one. The Drogo one is nice. It is more limited to like kind of cutting off early moves because it's like 200% health for the first turn, and then that's not going to last a super long time. The level 3 sucks for that. Riposte is nice, but you can, if Leia's on defense, kind of easy to control around that and kind of make that less of an issue. So I just go for like stats. I mean, if that's your best stat cron, the Darth Vader one, I guess I could see that. It also depends what league you're in, because after a certain point, like Kyber 3 and up, it's very rare it works. Kyber 2 and 1, that's not really going to help too much. But I did actually have issues against Leia on defense in Kyber 1 because it was in the back and I wasn't expecting it, and I did kind of limited options. Because with all the extra health, defense critical, it's really hard to kill.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would just go Drogon Cron here. Like, even if it's just you're gaining keen stratagem on everybody at the start, right? That's 25% offense additionally for everybody. Riposte, like you said, it's nice.
Well,
they get a lot of
for rebels.
50 for rebels, yeah, it does double up, doesn't it? So it's okay. I mean, this set has got It's got defense on it as well, hasn't it? And that's always quite nice. It does have health as well, so you could build quite a nice Drogon Kron. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna fine tune the Kron for Leia, then I would lean more Drogon. But if you're not gonna put a lot of rerolls into it and you just need a stat booster, then Darth Vader's dual end is not bad. There's also quite a few other FTCs you could have used, but I don't know. I don't know what else you would have access to. That's always the downside.
So if you're a popper and you can't refine this Datacron, then you go with focus Datacron.
Yeah, because the Wookiee Kron is great for that too. I mean, if you can't refine your Drogon Krons into 300% defense, come on,
just uninstall the game, get a job, and start whaling, boys. All right,
get a second job to pay for your smoking expenses. Okay,
that's kind of what I did. That's what YouTube is. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Rurik. So next question comes from Tralex. He says, I know we don't have Cassian really playable yet, but can you speak to what you think the 3v3 splits will be for Rebel fighters? Looks to me like it's either Mon Mothma or Saw with Luthen and Kleya, and Cassian, Vel, Cinta. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I mean, there's not really other options. That's kind of how it needs to sit. Bell and Cinta need to be together.
Yep, 100%.
But I would assume that Cassian can carry with his Omicrons, and that splitting Luthen into a second team would be better. I just think Kleya does better with the Mon Mothma lead, I want to say.
Oh, really? Okay.
Want to say I haven't done a ton of thinking on it yet, but that's where my head goes. That would make the most sense is to make that split.
Okay, I haven't thought about the split at all, to be honest. Sorry, go ahead, Sanja.
I would just kind of agree with that. I think Vel and Cinta have to go together. It makes sense for that to be with Cassian, and then I don't know whether it's Saul or Mon Mothma lead. I mean, I still count. I'm so attached to Saul, Luthen, and then just like a third, like Kyle Katarn or something. We'll see if we'll see if Kleya makes it or not in 3v3.
This Datacron set's got the return of the Chirrut as well, hasn't it? I know it doesn't have the same level 6 that was making things really nutty with the Chirrut, but I imagine you could probably still make do with Saw, Chirrut and Baze with the Chirrut.
The old level 6, that was the one where it was like damage based on debuff, so like Saul would get them really weak and then they do a lot, right?
Yeah, and then every time they're gaining a heal up or a heal over time, Chirrut was massively boosting offense.
Yeah, they're still going to be able to like skyrocket their damage.
Yeah,
so
100%.
And so like I think like with that old setup, like the Chirrut part was almost secondary to just Saul like getting it so set up. You just needed to like poke people and they'd go. So I still think Chirrut's going to be really good, but it is limited to you have to have a Rebel fighter lead. So probably just going to be a 5v5 thing because the 3v3. I mean, I don't know, like Saul, Luthen, Chirrut. I don't know. Yeah, that could work. I don't know, but 5v5 is going to be nice because it is a 5v5 set. It'll be 2 5v5s in one.
Definitely.
Which, by the way, can we complain about the 3-month rotation instead of 4 months?
Always, forever. Yes.
That is so bad. I cannot believe I think everything else people are mad about. Like people complain about errors. I don't really have a problem with errors necessarily. Coliseum, I don't really have that much of a problem with Coliseum. I hate this Datacron rotation. It is so bad. Like you cannot invest into things. It's and then like before you know it, you just cannot get any reroll mats, like level 3 reroll mats. It's like
never enough. Yeah.
They like cycle in the store like a week or 2 early or something for
2 weeks early.
So just, like, 2 weeks early. So it's like you just finished Conquest and then you can't even like get any of these mats anymore. I think that's just horrible. That screams to me like some bigwig business person was like, well, we make money on Datacrons, right? Can we just like do that more often?
Yeah, just have more money
every other month.
Oh, it's
Do whatever
it's
you want, we'll get
100%
more.
to tax out the budget players from the top end of Kyber. I mean, it's trying to put more incentive
It's
on
annoying.
people
Yep.
that spend having a competitive advantage, because that was kind of the problem with the old system, and I use the word problem lightly, is that it was easy for everyone to have everything, just the whales might have it on the first pass. And so there
Yeah.
was no competitive sacrifice. They might have 1 week of, a couple weeks of not being perfect, but by the tail end of the first season of GAC, that they would be caught up to whatever the whales had gotten access to. And so
Yeah, that was me.
I can see why they're putting downward pressure on moderate to light to zero spenders, on basically going, hey, either pony up and start investing, or you're going to start falling down because you won't be fighting people that will go ham on Datacrons. Because maybe anybody, in my opinion, that's still doing 30 Datacrons a set is a psychopath. Because there's no point. There's not even 30.
I couldn't possibly.
Yeah, that's overboard.
The
I don't
last
know why
set and
anyone
this
would do
set,
that.
the only small advantage of going a little bit wider is because of all the defense rolls. And so if you can get enough defense on your crons, then that gives you an incentive to keep pushing wider. But I mean, most of the cron sets only have, like you need 4 of each, level 9, level 4 level light side, 4 dark side, and then basically that's it. And so there's not as a big enough reason to go deep with the cron sets, which I'm fine with. But it's what I've said multiple times, is they need to cut in half the reroll cost of the tier 3 and tier 1 to match tier 2. It's just cut it in half, and then people can deal with the fact that we have to farm much more frequently a little bit easier.
I'd take it. I mean, I just hate that every single conquest now is just an absolute sprint. It's like, quick! Get to Sector 4 bonus node. Farm your Datacrons as quickly as possible, because you're not going to have another opportunity. Go for it. Do it now. And that just... It's too much stress. It's too much stress. Sucks the enjoyment out of it for me. Anyway, we should probably push on, gentlemen. We still have several questions. So, Darth Bismarck asks, 1. What is your guys' favorite team? Not performance-wise, just a team you really like. Favorite team, gentlemen?
I really enjoy Malicos.
Hell yeah.
Just because Hulk smash, throwing the rocks, just like the damage just gets so high, and it's just very hard to get hurt in a lot of ways, especially if you have the full setup in 5v5 with Cal or something. That's quite a fun team for me.
Karth?
Oh, I think my fun little one right now is the Admiral Akbar with the new Stormtrooper Luke.
With all of the armies.
With all the armies, all the stuff and the things. It humors me how well it performs on some things. It's not, a bulletproof team, but it's just kind of fun for me to watch Leia take like 17 turns in a row. And this current cron set's going to only exacerbate that problem with the Akbar army. Because they're going to gain buffs on specials. So she's going to gain tons and tons and tons and tons of turn meter. So I'm interested to see how it plays in the grand scheme of things. So that's where I'm getting some enjoyment out of some of the this newer but old, not very often used teams. But other than that, there's always Starkiller bringing the ship down out of the sky and things of that nature. Gungans are fun. The Maz pirate teams are fun.
I think they did a really good job with pirates in general, in terms of like how the teams play. I think they're both really fun teams. So
honest to God, I just want Hondo under Maz to start with 10 stacks of profit. I'm tired of the retreat.
Yeah,
it is annoying.
It's like you can't auto with it.
No.
Yeah, you can't auto with him in TB with it because he'll kill himself, and so it's just like, can we please just under Maz, he gets 10 stacks of profit the first time he uses a special.
Yeah,
like
it would be nice.
please. Like I get he's an annoying
Because
character.
it doesn't even
but-
like make it like overpowered or extra powerful on defense either. Because it's like usually he's not like if you're in control and you are going to win, he's not running away. It's honestly something you could just cheese if you've resigned yourself to two shot and you just send someone in to get captive and die. But yeah, it's obnoxious.
It really is. I'd say team I like to use is I'm same as Sanjita. I absolutely love Seer Malakos. I think Seer Malakos is just so much fun. But I also generally any team that does one big hit is fun. So like Satil, second special, big boom. That's a lot of entertainment, right? You know, like Carl says, dropping a Star Destroyer.
I do find myself saying Hadouken quite a bit when I play with her.
Oh yeah, Hadouken! She literally has a Hadouken. Yeah, for sure. And you know, you can pump her prot so high at the moment. Like new set has got 15% health and protection, right? And you could get her at Relic 10 to like, I think it does. The new set, I'm pretty sure level 3 has got
for light side.
Oh, does it not? Is it the set before? Is it Armor Instinct?
Level 3 suck.
Hang on, I know that we've
like
definitely got one of
set.
them. Hang
One
on.
of them does.
One of them has it. I can't remember which one though. Hang on, let me have a look.
No, it's whenever they evade, they gain stacking health.
Yeah, sorry, it's Armor and Instinct at the start of the encounter. Light side allies got 15% health and prot, and that one does have prot as a secondary as well. So you can.
But it doesn't count towards her. The level 3 doesn't count to her max prot.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Is it like
is it base max
like
prot?
a JML situation?
Well, okay, maybe that's the case. It could be the case. I have to go back and read her kit. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I think with like JML or something, it's about his base max protection.
It is.
But it's just max protection.
Yeah, it's her max protection. Yeah, so it should count for Datacron use as well.
Well, but either which way, I'll circumvent that with this and say, there's no way you're going to run her with that level 3. Like she.
Yeah, I mean, you do want the 25% turn meter.
I mean, to counter the stranger, you need to have the turn meter. Like you can't go.
Oh yeah, but she counts more
without
than
it.
that.
People told me I was so lucky. So I was just kind of like ignorant to that. I went in, I was like, yeah, it went so well. Like they didn't go for Revan, so I think like I just got lucky, and I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. But I do hate that they nerfed it to just Old Republic, not because of the raid thing. Like I didn't interact with that in either direction, like using it or facing it. But in TB, and I don't go for any TB on console. I have none of them. But that Cal mission on Zepho, you have to use like JML to get things going. But it's always when you have to play manually, but it's when kills emphasized because you get a lot of points on it. I was able to auto it for the first time using Satil because she did so much damage. She had so much control. She was actually actively taunting and she was hard to kill. And then you have like Jaya Luke in there or something, and there's the mass stud. And I was actually able to auto that for the first time without any Omicrons. And then as soon as they did the nerf, she is just defunct. She's useless.
That's a shame. So that's a real shame.
Yeah.
Anyway. So there is a second part from Darth Bismarck. He says, since 2 seasons have passed since they come into the main game, what are your guys' impressions of the anniversary characters, especially non-standard uses, such as Stormtrooper Luke with GL Leia, or Inquisitor Barriss with Reva or Seer, Spider-Maul with Seer, etc., etc. I've only really used Spider-Maul with Seer on my alt account, because he just doesn't have Stranger, and I used him once in GAC, and it won, so that was good. But I haven't done a whole lot of off-meta testing with these guys.
Yeah, I haven't done too much. And the only one I've gotten any real use out of is Stormtrooper Luke, because I've been farming him faster, and his Focus Datacron really helps for 3v3. But all of them are propped up by Focus Datacrons. I mean, the ridiculous set of 7 Focus Datacrons. I don't have Spider-Maul. So I honestly have not done too much. Well, I actually have Darth Vader at 5 stars, so he's like Relic 4, so he's all right. I used them for something, but I did not step like out of the predefined lead, like you have to have Palpatine for him. I don't know what he'd do without that. So I haven't done too much like unorthodox with any of those.
No. I wonder how he'd work with... I suppose he doesn't work with Bane, right? Does he start at 25% health? So I think he would immediately sack himself if he did Vader Bane.
No, that's a good question.
I'm not sure. I know Karth has done some testing, haven't you, Karth?
He starts at 49%.
Oh, okay. So he wouldn't immediate sack. No.
Not immediate, but get really, really close. And it just kind of ruins the point because it's just... it's not really worth your time.
No.
I mean, I like Stormtrooper Luke. I find him to be flexible in a lot of different locations because he just spins the team really fast. So I found it fun to use him. I found Barris to be woefully underwhelming in a lot of areas because they're either just stat blocks on the team with the Kron, with Seer and Malicos, or they're just kind of whatever, but they don't really do enough to kind of like warrant a threat in other team placements, especially when they still have better options to pull from.
And I definitely feel like the new Barris team in 3s in particular, as soon as that FDC goes away, like, it's not even really that much of a threat right now. When you take away the FDC, it's like, what is anybody going to worry at all about seeing, Inquisitor Barris with second sister and ninth? It's just like, oh, it's just a stat block. It's a wall. It doesn't do anything.
Well, and that's kind of like where the Wookiees got too, right? The Wookiees are actually a lot of fun. They can do some interesting things, but they're just stonewalled by the plague of there are better options than them, and they're not well versed enough to people want to gamble on them to do something with it. Asajj I found some fun with, but she's a hard one to kind of move out of the bounty hunter lineups. Even with the new set, with the stuff for the scoundrels, starting with the new purple set with it's not new anymore, but the purple set with the scoundrel stuff, she's not really doing a hell of a lot with. The turn meter will help, but it's kind of one of those things where, like, offensively they can kind of do stuff and things. I guess just overall, there's so much going on at the top end of the game. It's like there's no reason to roll dice on half of these teams. You just use what works and call it a day, or you set it on defense and try to be more efficient than your opponent.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So Banter Hunter says, a personal question for Sanjita. What has changed since you become a father, aside from getting less sleep? Love your content. You're a legend. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thanks. Well, so first of all, sleep is back better than ever. Our child is almost a year and a half now, so she sleeps really good. But the first 6 months plus are pretty rough with that. It's just, it's less time available to do stuff. Our daughter goes to bed pretty early, like 7 or something. But that's just time before that while she's awake. That's family time, and then time when she goes to bed, there's still you want to have time for each other, like me and my wife, so there's a lot of time for that, and it puts a lot more of a strain on actually being able to put work into YouTube. So that is more the problem, and just finding time to do everything with the channel. That's kind of like the biggest thing. It's the less but honestly, when I started my channel, we were in a 1-bedroom apartment, and to not be an inconvenience to my wife, I'd work up really early to do all my videos, like before 6 a.m. and just try to get them all done before she woke up. Because, if she wants to come out to the kitchen or living room or anything, I'd be there in the corner recording. So I've had it worse, even not having a kid yet, but it's great though. I love having a kid, and it's a privilege. So just try to appreciate it every step. So it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first started doing content creation as well, I was in a 1-bedroom apartment, and like the setup was in the lounge. And when Mrs. Scribbles moved in with me, it was like, you can't watch TV right now because I need to record a video. And she's like, well, no, you just can't record a video because I'm watching TV. You're like, go fuck yourself sort of thing. I was like, shit. So I ended up moving the setup from the lounge into the bedroom. But then that becomes an issue because it's like, well, if I need to stream something, it's bedtime and she's going to sleep. It's like, like you can't win.
No, it was tough. And then my backdrop, like for a while, I'd have like a background remover, and it was just like me, like with a transparent background. But I realized I was using so much resources on my little gaming laptop that it was freezing it up. So I stopped doing that. So then my backdrop was just like lit like random lit, like my entire apartment. You could see all the way back to the kitchen. It was just like, all right, here's the background. So I appreciate having just a plain black wall now behind me as a default.
Yeah, I feel you. The joys of being a content creator. So thank you, Banter Hunter. That was a really nice question. Next one comes from Knight of Knee. He says, what has been the most positive and least positive of the changes to the game for you guys since Coliseum and the new marquee system was introduced? More sources for signal data. I think that's what I love.
Yeah, I was going to say. More sources for signal data, more sources for lower relic materials, bronze wiring, carbonate circuit boards are no longer like a concern at all.
Yeah.
And then the Erodium token flood that you can get, like it makes building stuff up a lot easier. Then the negative is like that's where if you want to capitalize on that the most, that's kind of where your crystals go. And if you were to boil it down to just a really cold calculating math about it, that's probably the most efficient way to use a lot of your crystals, getting 4 and 5 stars on the marquees, and then building them up a little bit early with crystal packs for era development. But it makes it a lot more constrained. And then also you can get to a point where you're developing, it's almost like the Lightspeed bundles problem, just a little bit slower. You're building up your roster to relics a lot faster, but you're not going to have good Zetas or mods for it. But then even then you can kind of get around it and be like, oh, well, this token's for one of the useless characters I need for a GL. And I don't care if they're not ready for anything. Like they're useless anyway. So, that's kind of like good and bad for me. I think it's mostly good, but it is like, it's extra time, extra resources to capitalize on all that good stuff.
Yeah. Thoughts, Garth? Best and worst since the era change?
Oh, I think you guys hit on the head. There's not a lot on either end of the stick for me, and positive or negative. It's just different ways to interact. I just think that the whatever Kool-Aid they're drinking right now that's convincing people to go to air level 95 is spiked with something. But outside of that, I mean, it doesn't really change a heck of a lot for me. I spend a little bit more over the era getting the earlier bump in Coliseum, but it's like the first marquee is super expensive, and then the rest of them, especially with the changes, the access is just like, okay, so marquee 1 I basically have to pay to bring all the way up to whatever I can cap out at, which will run you a couple $100 if it's like level 70. But the outside of that, the next one, it's like, okay, you get to level like 60 for free. Like you've got the materials already kind of put together for it. And then by the next one, it's like, okay, you're basically getting to level 70 without any other additional cost. And so it doesn't really bother me that much because it's not every time. It's only the first time. Ugh. Hold on. I need to die.
All good? Poor Karth. He's just dying very, very slowly. It's okay.
I got something stuck at the back of my throat, so
all good, brother.
It's not going well. But anyways, we can just go to the next question. We don't need to dwell on that much longer.
All right, cool. We'll go to the next question then. All right, next question comes from Mayday, and he says, what has been the most your most rewarding investment in Galaxy of Heroes? For example, Admiral Radis and the Rogue One team for me is exceptional in every game mode and gets me holds against an attacking C in GAC. Also, thank you, Sanjita, for being the first to explain and help me navigate Swugger through your farming guides and the GoTanks account. Ah, that's nice. Well, seems though you were called out there, Sanjita. How about you? What's been your, like, this has been the best ROI?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm really glad that the guides help. It's hard to think the absolute best. I mean, I think Leia, it's just been enormous. Like I have some other highlights too, because she is a GL, and obviously that's a lot. She carries so hard, and I try to emphasize her so much as a first GL. Dominates every single proving grounds, 3 stars, all of them. I didn't have to think about it after that. But that might have suffered. My content might have suffered from that because I didn't have to struggle and find other ways. But it was like that was taken care of. She carried me, like, my defense for the longest time. I'm in Kyber 3 now, less than 8 million. I have 3 GLs. I got there at like 2 GLs. It is her on defense, and then my whole other roster is devoted to trying to clear on offense. And it's like every set, there's something I could throw with her on defense, and just people, like, even people with like every GL, like, if they're not good at the game, like they don't have good mods, they just abstain from Datacrons almost entirely. There's just people that couldn't get by her, and I just have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holds, and I win like without having to do a full clear sometimes. She's an easy way to plow through Conquest.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd say Great Mothers is probably up there, because it's like a team where you don't need any legendary unlocks. Everything is directly farmed, and it's, again, a hard carry in Conquest, especially if you get Booming Voice, which we've been getting a lot, like as a mandatory thing.
That's so good with her. She just takes infinite turns.
Yeah, it's just, okay, I'm gonna doom someone. Everyone says you're dead. Okay, guess it's time to doom someone else. And if someone happens to survive that onslaught somehow, it's like, oh well, it's time to bless someone. So okay, yeah, you're dead too. It's insane. It's amazing.
It's really good.
So, yeah, and then you get that assault battle done completely with them, and they're feeding into Balin, who's awesome for countering Galactic Legends, and then they can counter Galactic Legends themselves, mostly Ahsoka, but you can get some other good wins in there too. And then of course my Galactic Republic fleet. So that's like a bunch of different options that carried me for a long time to top of Fleet Arena. But I think overall, like, the best is Leia. Just carries you everywhere. If you could wish to have one team, it's Leia.
It is very, very good, the Leia team. It just has legs. And it's like it doesn't feel like there's a downside to Leia. Like when you look at characters like Rey, you're like, oh, Rey is a staple defensive GAC team. Sure, people beat her, people know Rey. She's the oldest Galactic Legend alongside Slacker, right? But she is kind of like, you use her defensively. And then Slacker is almost the opposite. It's like, you use him offensively, you're probably going to have garbage banners. Whereas Leia is like, you could throw her on defense, she could well get holds. You could take her on offense. She's probably going to beat everything. And she'll have good banners because of the recovery mechanics, because of the revives with her ultimate. It's like, there doesn't seem to be a negative to her. She's just good at everything. And that's great. Right?
Yeah, not to mention like TB, which, combat missions are lower value, but it's the easy auto. Like, she's the one I use on that first mission. Where it's like Kira and Young Han. Like, I use her, Drogon, and R2 because, like, you can't have a leader, but you want someone that can kick butt. And they do
on the mixed, I genuinely throw inspectors on that. I just go Glat, Ezra, Sabine. I'm like, put it on auto and walk away.
Oh yeah, that's another one that would kill that. But yeah, no, just everywhere.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose I would probably throw in, I know this is a lot more contentious because he's far newer and far more expensive to get, but Pirate King Hondo, his Smuggler's Run is freaking ridiculous for mods. It's absurd.
It is.
It's like 4 times as much mats as Jabba's because you can do both tiers, and it's both of the mods. And it's speed set mods that you get. And you get both of the tiers. If you've got them at R9, both of the tiers award more than Jabba's Smuggler's Run 2. So you're getting like, it's something like 180 micro attenuators or something like that. I think it's 94 per sim or something. So you get like 188 or something like that. That's absurd. And then of course you got the raid benefit, but the raid benefit's probably going to drop off a cliff in the next 6 months, 6 months, something like that. Don't know when the new raid's coming in.
12 months.
God's like, yeah, 24 months.
I just
some
have
good
low
stuff.
hopes that they do a new raid. Not that it's a 0, but I don't know.
Yeah, the tenure keeps increasing for each of these new raids.
Yeah, the 9 months time it's supposed to last is getting shorter and shorter. But I mean, we'll see what they do. I mean, I'm for a new raid too, just something else to invest into. But I mean, it also just equally sucks because it's like, oh my god, I need to go somewhere where people are actually invested in this stuff, and we're not waiting 6 months to get max score again. And I can almost guarantee you, at the next raid, there's going to be a new box and R10 tier and this and that. And it's just like, I'm
probably
okay with waiting on some of that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If we can drag it out and I can just keep getting top personal box now for another year, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with it. I don't need a new raid. I just think that eventually they're going to do it, right? Okay. So next question is from Luke. And Luke says, first questions. What sounds do Ahsoka's lightsabers make? Vum, I think, is the word. And the second question is, how much time does her basic take? Probably over the length of any given GAC battle, probably wastes more time than anything else, is her constantly counterattacking. I don't know. It reminds me of like when you get stuck against, this doesn't happen, but like Nisa, and she's just going to be like, and you're like, Nisa, for fuck's sake, stop attacking.
They're both rage-inducing.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's
A little
easy to
bit.
say.
That and who was the other one? Another culprit was Cara Dune back in the day, because she'd always like run up to your face and then go, and then run back. Irritating counter mechanics on certain characters. So yeah, they did a little bit of a non-serious question there from Luke, but fair enough. George asks, hi everyone, I would like to hear your predictions on who's going to be the next Galactic Legend. We get this every single Tribe Talks. I'm still sticking with something Mando Grogu related. It just makes sense. The film's coming out. So, Sanjita, any thoughts?
Sorry, I keep missing questions. I'm going to have to hop soon. Because my
It's all good.
I was about to say,
what was the question real quick?
Thoughts on a potential new GL?
I'd love an Old Republic themed one.
That would be sick.
Like the Exile or something. But
yeah, that's fair. So, sorry, Sanjita. Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hop, but it was a lot of fun, guys. So I appreciate
No, I really appreciate you coming on, dude. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your guys' weekend.
Peace out, brother.
All right,
Big love.
We'll see.
Okay, so let's go back over here and I'll see about fixing Karth's face. Apologies.
What?
You can't fix my face! How dare you? Get you over here.
Trying to order lunch over here.
Dude. Bear with. Sorry, caller. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see the direct chat there from Sanjita because I'm in the question section of Thingamabob at the minute. So let's close that out.
No, that's fine.
Oh, I'm in the wrong one again. Okay, cool. Why has that disappeared again? God damn it. There we go. We got you back. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. So thank you, Sanjita, for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you. Little bit of wife emergencies, I think. Nothing to be worried about, guys, I am sure. Yeah, so, I mean, GLs, we get this every Tribe Talks, don't we, Karth? Are you still thinking Mando and Grogu related, or do you think it's going to be something else related? What do you reckon?
I can't see them going any other direction than something related to the Mandalorian series. At the minimum, I can't really see it going a different way. If they want to use it as a stretch to do Imperial Remnant Thrawn, sure. Technically he's Mando worked with Ahsoka for a little bit. Ahsoka brought back Thrawn. Sure, if they want to stretch it, they could. But I would say at the minimum, it's going to be something related around that particular part of Star Wars.
It makes sense. It makes sense to tie into the movie. It doesn't necessarily have to be something we see in the movie, but Mando related would make sense.
It would be cool. I have low hopes for it being actually thematically tied into the existing movie. That's all. I'm putting that as a low odds of occurring.
Yeah, fair. So next question comes from Stars. He says, "Are we getting FTCs every other conquest now?"
It seems to be like,
I don't know.
It's like out of the 3, 1 will not have it.
Yeah,
is what it seems like. Now they could change that. It could go a different direction, but I mean, I would rather have FDCs every cron set and just less to farm, because FDCs are way better. Way better. Like if you give me 1 level 15 and 3 level 9s every set, I'd be way happier because they're way better. They're worth investing into than the regular crons. I'm fine with that. So I don't know. I hope we don't go to every other, because then that's gonna get really, really boring. Because no one's gonna farm that many crons. But we'll see. FTCs kind of help define the metas a bit more because there's a lot more power behind them. Even if the crons don't wind up on the right team, the crons have a lot more power behind them, which gives them a lot more plug and play viability than the existing ones, where it's like, hey man, if you aren't at least the level 6 or the level 3 isn't at least a boatload of turn meter, it's not going to do anything for you. You're just not going to, the crons are going to be dead weight most of the time after that.
Yep. Which is fair. Part 2 of Stars' question is, what are you hoping that the new game mode is? And do you think it will be fun, or is Meathead trying to pull a fast one?
Well, I'll put it this way. No matter what CG has released, the players have always found issues. So no matter what they release,
come on, we love
people
Coliseum.
are going to be upset. They're going to be mad. So I am just here with my s'mores ingredients.
I thought you with my tub of gasoline,
my little camping chair. And I am here to watch the embers burn. Like people are going to be mad. They're not going to be mad enough to quit. A handful of them are, and then it is what it is. The game mode could be a whole variety of things. They could reuse old game modes that just outdated, and they want to revitalize it and for a era theme, or who knows. But whatever. It's just going to be another thing to play. I mean, that's the thing that we've said for months now on the era system, is that it's like opening up a mall and only having one store open. So the more they add to it, the more there is to do. Great. We've seen the trend that they want to, kind of go through and revitalize the early game experience and try to capitalize on that for new people coming and playing the game, which, I mean, they have to do. The game is at that point where the bridge from starting the game to being mid to end game is so vast that if without ways to kind of get people to buy in, there's just too much to do. They don't want to sit there and be behind for 3 years to eventually be at a point where they can throw the wall long enough to be caught up. And so it makes sense that they're doing this. So, I mean, what companies instituting monetization policies are never going to go well with the existing player base.
I mean, nobody's going to be happy.
I'm ready for the pitchforks. That's all. I am going to watch it with glee. Okay, I'm just going to sit there and then just throw my little water balloons of gasoline at the fire, and just enjoy the outrage of the community, because God forbid that they not do exactly what the player wants. Which, if you ask the players what they want, there's 12 different answers anyway. So
I mean, we know people want to see revitalization of GAC. We know people want to see TW overhaul. We know people want to see less bugs. What the players don't want to see is yet another game mode to spend money on, right? And unfortunately, That's
the entire game works.
Yeah, that's not what CG's paid to do, unfortunately. Like, it would be great if they could marry it together. They could make a game mode that's fun and something we want to do, but they can also make some money on it. That would be great. But
on more than one occasion in the past, though, they have, in fewer words or more words, depending on which occasion we're going to reference here, basically, they don't touch shit unless they can monetize it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if that's their core philosophy behind everything they bring into the game, prepare to hate parts of what comes to the game. Okay, that's just going to be what it is. There's going to be, if monetization is what it takes to bring a feature, update something, or whatever else, you're never going to be happy with what they bring into the game because it's always going to have monetization to it. CG has done a relatively decent job of not making it like super ridiculous like other mobile games that are out there.
Yeah.
But they've made their intentions quite clear that if they're going to touch something, it requires monetization. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Yeah. I'm hoping this is just going to be a case of we're just going to get additional value out of our investments into the era system, because it's going to. I do firmly believe it's going to be era-based PvP. It was hinted out when the anniversary update dropped. They said we want to do era-based PvP. Like, okay.
I still can't wrap my head around.
I don't say it's going to be good or fun. Like, here you go. You've got one character. Era-based PvP. Yeah. Let's get. I know they're saying loaned units and all this sort of stuff that's supposedly coming. We've even seen data mines for loaned unit item upgrades and timers and all this sort of shit. And we've got the summoning system already. But I don't know how you make a compelling PvP game mode out of that, especially when we can't use modding. We can't use Datacrons.
It's very easy. It's very easy.
It's Moostacard.
We put the best rewards in the game behind it, and therefore engagement is required, not optional.
Yeah.
So you will play with the toy because the toy gives you candy, okay?
Yeah.
If you don't like the candy, then quit playing the game. But you like the candy, so you're not going to quit playing the game. So go play. Go play the thing. Go do the thing because, R11 is right there.
So, yeah, but I mean, that's what I theorized in my video today, was that new game mode. It's either going to be really fun and we'll want to play it, or it's going to be a complete chore and we'll have to play it because the rewards are too good, and Relic 11 makes sense. So
it'll be something that we have to play. I mean, the whole era system is counterintuitive to how veterans of the game have played the game, right?
Yep.
It is using all your training toys in their own isolated box with nothing else to do with them besides look at them, right? You can't mod them, you can't do anything with them. There's no real strategy to it. It's just RNG on a lot of it. You can run the exact same team in Coliseum. Well, like today, for example, right? We're fighting the big creature, whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember.
Which one?
What is this called? Whatever the creature we're fighting is. Jotaz. We're fighting Jotaz. Yeah. Okay. So with Jotaz, today, I managed a score of 2.5 million. The last time I fought the boss, I had 3.7 million.
Reasons.
I don't know how I did that. I think I pressed auto. And so that's kind of where my head's at. It's like, if you can't meaningfully and consistently get predictable scores, whatever they do is going to be an utter clusterfuck.
If it's error-related stuff, which
I don't have a better answer for that. Yeah, no one's gonna be happy because you're not gonna be happy that one day in the mode you scored really well, and the next day, 12 attempts later, you can't even get half of that score. And so it's just like I don't know. I know no matter what they end up doing, people are gonna be less than thrilled about it, and then it will watch the fires burn. That's all I've got. I'm here for that part of it because I love when people cry about things they could easily just not engage with. You could just not play, right? You can just go, hey, if this causes me this level of stress, just quit playing. Just be done with it.
So there's a third question from Stars. Just to wrap up there, I don't necessarily think Meathead is trying to pull a fast one. I think it's just his job to generate excitement about this game. I imagine he's probably clickbaiting us. That's to put it in simple terms.
I mean, he just wants to see what we'll do. Because we're like little coke fiends when it comes to rumors.
We do like a good rumor, to be fair.
You give us the smallest little bump, and we're just out there going like, it could be everything, or nothing, or something.
The smallest little bump. Oh my God, the Death Star raid is coming to the game.
Oh, I know, right?
It's happening.
Like, we will take the smallest thing from him and be like, oh my God, TW is being scrapped. They're going to bring in a brand new PvP game mode for guild stuff. It's going to be Battlefront 2, Galactic Conquest style guild PvP, where you and 8 other guilds conquer the galaxy.
And the rewards are going to be the very first crossover event, Star Wars X My Little Pony. All right, so friendship is magic, guys. Friendship is magic. It's coming.
The rewards are, for minimum, competing in it is a full-blown Relic 10 every time. And I mean all the mats for it, not just the
not just the servo motors?
No, it's just the servo motor. So it's the Gerdas and the arrows and the impulse sectors and the droid brain. Everything. That's the minimum for investing in it, okay?
Yeah.
But I have it on good authority that this is all facts.
Yeah. Trust me, bro. That's my source. Okay, third part from Stars then. Is there another Star Wars series that hasn't been made or leaked that you would want to see? Like, I would like to see an Old Republic / Sith era show. Sith Empire era show. I don't know. I'm usually down for anything, I'll be honest. I'm quite easy to please.
I mean, there's anything that is not, highly just saturated, Can we please walk away from Clone Wars to Revenge? Oh, no. Clone Wars to what the hell time? New Hope. Can that section of time get a break for like, I don't know, 15 years? Because we just keep hammering right back in that spot. Like most of the new content has been in that era. And actually in the last like 5 years, almost all of it has been from the Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope. And yeah, I don't need more of that in my life. I would be a fan of Old Republic. Hell, even the High Republic wouldn't be bad if we would just get away from everything we know. Like, oh my God, can we do a show where it's like, hey, Ki-Adi-Mundi didn't need to be there, Grandmaster Yoda didn't need to be there. Could we have gone back like another 100 years somewhere else? Like, were they alive? Sure, that's fine. They can be alive for all we care. But you're bringing us in on things that don't matter. Like, and I think they should just go far enough away where they can do these things, and the players can't lore counter the what's being written. Right? Like, go far enough with new characters where it's just like, you can't tell me I'm wrong, because as long as I don't, make God in Star Wars, I do what I want. No, you can't say I'm wrong. This person was really cool and powerful, did these cool things, died. Oh no, 1,000 years later, the galaxy was like, yeah, we forgot about you. Because you know what happens in Star Wars? That happens every time. Every person who's been very powerful, gone and conquered the galaxy, what happens to them? They die. They can't live forever. All of a sudden,
much like real life, huh?
Yeah. 500 years later, we've forgotten all about you. The galaxy is so vast, so expansive. That's like, nothing lasts forever. And that's the beauty of it. Go back 1,000 years. Forget about everything we know.
They just need to be a little bit brave, right? And step away from like the safe ground of Skywalker lineage and.
Well, but that's been the fun part.
And Tatooine.
Yeah. For the love of God, Tatooine. That's the fun part. We go back to the Republic. Things are a little bit more primitive, as in like, they're not as super sci-fi. But I mean, Star Wars technology for the most part hasn't really gone off the rails. A lot of it's kind of remained consistently the same.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not like you're doing Star Wars with sticks and stones. It's just you're doing Star Wars when no one else gives a shit. Yeah. It's like, it's like, why do you think the Old Republic series was so popular? It's like you chose something that nobody could be like, well, actually, Luke in this book didn't have those powers, and what you're trying to promote here breaks Star Wars canon and lore. And anyways, I just don't need that. Give me a blank slate, far enough away from whatever the hell we're doing here, where it's just like, okay, no one cares. We can have stakes again. The hero can actually die. We don't have to worry about, well, Ben Kenobi dies on the Death Star in Episode 4. Doesn't really matter what we do with him in between now and then because who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You can't die. You can't get permanently disfigured. Like we know what happens at the end.
I told you, dude, he's a clone.
Yeah.
That's the solution to everything now.
Somehow everyone's returned.
Somehow Ben returns. Yeah.
Episode 10, the return of Ben and Kenobi.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So next question comes from the best piece of ash in Fangorn Forest, which is a great name. Sup Bromingos, I know the new raid hasn't been announced yet. However, I'd like to hear your thoughts on when we should start saving Zetas and relic mats for the upcoming announcement. Does the new raid come with a cushion on time to farm like others, a month or two, etc.? And lastly, pull my twig! Okay.
I will not.
I will polish your twig, sir.
Ooh, polish that knob.
Sauce.
I mean, I think the reality is that they're gonna probably announce it with a new era. I can't see them retroactively being like, hey, all that Cassian stuff, wouldn't it have been crazy if we told you in advance that it was going to be needed for a raid? Anyways, start farming behind the 8-ball. I just can't see that happening.
No.
It's possible. They kind of did that with Bad Batch last year. They kind of went like, Bad Batch. But, we kind of knew when they brought in Pirates and Mace and the new clones that they were going to kind of be the big focus behind.
Well, we knew with Order 66, like straight away with the Dark Side clones. It was like, by the way, these guys are used in the raid.
Yeah, so I feel like they're going to be that blunt with us again, and that'll give everyone the time that they need. With the new era system, you almost have to assume that the era is going to be the indicator. They're going to let you know if you need to invest, and then the raid will launch right after that era concludes, because then you'll have the ability to grab everything from shipments if you didn't get them all quite the 7 stars during the era, and then you should be quickly able to kind of like catch up to whatever else they give us. The one net positive, it means that the era system at the most will probably only give us like 2 to 3 teams that we need. So at least 2 teams should be relatively free to play. We'll see, but I would say don't worry about saving up for that until they announce it, because with the era system, you're going to always have time. Yeah,
you'll have a certain amount of time for sure. It makes sense. I'm pretty sure next era they'll say there's a new raid being worked on. These units will be required, even if that's all the information they give. I don't necessarily think you should be hoarding mats, because you end up slowing down your progress. I wouldn't invest in stuff that's not going to give you a return. Don't just spend your stuff for the sake of spending it, but only invest in stuff that you know is going to bring value to your account. And the new stuff you can never really go too far wrong with. So.
You don't know how people play this game. You got a red pip, you hit upgrade.
Yeah, no, that red pip has been in my game since day one. I'm never seeing that disappear. That's for sure. So, Venom Player says, supposedly there is a new game mode that Meathead is seizing. Yeah, we've kind of addressed this already. What is your prediction for it? What would you like to see? Anyways, you said the game. We've already covered this earlier on in the questions, but thank you, Venom Player. Thank you very much, sir. Question for Sonjita mainly, though I am sure Scribe will have good insights too. I have a free-to-play that is following quite a similar path as your Gotenks account, Sonjita. Leia into Jabba, with Leia being the main team on defense in GAC sort of thing, and I've just reached Kyber at under 6 million GP for this coming 5v5 season. What was your strategy for surviving Kyber at low GP, and do you have any tips for it? Well, Sonjita unfortunately had to pop off, and he won't be back for the rest of the show, unfortunately. But generally speaking, particularly in low Kyber, and this is Kyber before sort of the mid to top end of Kyber 2, as long as you're investing in making sure you can clear and having more investment in Datacrons than your opponents, that's going to be the big game changer. Because low Kyber people don't invest in Datacrons, like, at least not properly. So if you're able to do that, you have a massive advantage, an absolutely astronomical advantage. And yeah, you're just going to have to play. I would say prioritize trying to clear rather than try to get holds. Being more efficient. A lot of people don't know how to play efficiency, so that's stuff like making sure that you're always recovering your banners, you're getting your 65s, or you're finding where you can use undermans. That will always give you the big advantage. Try to score the highest, not try to trip your opponent up. Would be high level advice there for you, Molten Flame.
Cilantro line.
Righto. We got Richie Fritch next, and he says, thoughts on the best Saw DC for the first 2 weeks of 5v5? Chirrut or Kyle Katarn Datacron? Do you think that Balin will still walk over the Datacron? Yes, I do. I do think that Balin will still dominate that. You know, the FDC is incredibly powerful. Not sure what will happen once Cassian is released if Saw is a dead team. It's hard to say right now until Datacrons come out fully, but for now, Cassian is going to be... It feels like Cassian will be a superior team to me.
Okay.
And in terms of Datacrons, I would say that the Chirrut DC is probably better, even if the level 6 isn't great. Kyle-Katarn's is good and everything, but the level 6 is for mercenaries, and that doesn't really bring a whole lot of benefit to the Saw DC.
Kara! Come on! Kara!
Yeah.
Don't forget about your girl, Kara!
Yeah, she's gonna taunt and stuff.
What is she gonna do with 100% defense penetration? I don't know, but I'm here for it. I don't know what she'll do with Jedi Knight buff, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Like, gimme.
Kara. Give me that booty bouncing.
I mean, in my defense, my Cara Dune is like Relic 5 because I just never use her for anything.
Relic 9 all day, baby.
No, I don't want to Relic 9 her. I'm sweating bullets trying to make sure I'm going to Relic 9 all of this era's units ready for the era battle that's coming up. That's my biggest concern right now. I'm not relicing anything right now. Like, Horde, like your life depends on its scribbles. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, so what do you think, Karth? Best DC for Saw for the first 2 weeks of 5v5? Chirrut or Kyle-Katarn? Or Drogon?
I was just trying to pull up the Kyle Katarn one real quick.
Yep.
Tonight bonus also applies to mercenary allies, which is basically only going to be Kara. I almost want to say in 5v5 it's just going to be the Chirrut Kron. Like the Kyle Kron, I would actually rather run with Momo and take Kyle and Kara to Momo instead. And then find something else to slam under Saw. Because I mean, we're gonna have the first week we won't have Cassian.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to put like Luthen with Saw. And the Chirrut, and it would probably be useful.
And then we have the joy of that 3-hour panic of quick mod the characters.
Modding. Yeah, I'm hoping Hot Utils is a little bit more tuned for it now, and we can get through there.
Yeah, apparently it is. So that's good. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We'll move on to the next question then. Quasson asks, what teams are generally good for Grand Arena in the lower leagues, such as Carbonite, such as the suggested team for Seer, Fulcrum, Cal, OG Kylo, and Rey Scavenger? Yeah. In lower leagues, generally speaking, from my experience on my free-to-play alt account, which is just over a year old now, it's less about all that good synergy, but where you can have high levels of Relic Delta advantage in a few number of characters. So, for example, in my account, I pushed to get Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon Jinn to Relic 9 to benefit from Duel of the Fates. So those two, under like Keller and Beck, usually in those lower leagues, they can just AoE and clear a board because I'm not facing people with high relics. So the Relic Delta is actually doing the lifting there. So things like that, things like Treya, things like Wampa, things where you can have lower levels of investment, or in terms of lower levels of investment, I mean number of units that you have to actually invest in. That's usually what gets you the advantage. So primarily focus on getting that advantage and ideally getting something like Executor or Profundity. Throw that on defense and that's going to carry your wins for a long, long time. At least it did for me. I wouldn't necessarily think that a Seer team is great. That Seer team there doesn't really have damage outside of Fulcrum. I know Rey Scavenger can, but they're also characters you just wouldn't really be investing in. Not really. Not until you're ready to go full ham. And Karth doesn't do early game. He's like, the teams that are good are the ones that I can whale my way to straight away and then win. He'll be like, I'm going to get those GL Lightspeed bundles.
Yeah, the ones I like are the ones that are just mechanically people don't understand. So
Gungans.
it's like, well...
Gungans are horrendous in early game. They're so hard to deal with.
Yeah. Without, like, Drea or Mandos, they are a pain in the butt. But, like, Tuskens are the same way. Like, Tuskens, with the momentum counter, really throw a lot of early people off because they don't understand the mechanics. But it's just... Early game, it's all about teams that kind of, like, have turn meter trains or a lot of attacks out of turns because people aren't really used to getting looped a lot, and so they make a lot of they'll take a team in and they'll get wrecked, and it frustrates them, puts them on tilt, and then they go from there. So like Geos was the bane of a lot of early games for a lot of time because they were incredibly durable, the constant health sharing. Once they get preloaded, they'll destroy something before you can pick a turn. So there's a lot of teams like that are very powerful early game, but it all comes down to what are you actually matching against consistently, because some of those teams are really fun if your opponent doesn't have anything useful, but if your opponent goes like, I'm setting all purple teams on defense and taking all my relic teams to offense, like it may not matter whatever you set on defense as long as your opponents just keep enough to clear.
Yeah, that's fair. And there's a comment in the chat around Great Mothers, and Great Mothers are phenomenal early game. I used my Cassian Lightspeed tokens on the free-to-play account to get Great Mothers and Morgan Elsbeth, and I'm looking forward to investing in that team. Next question comes from Sales Vedstara. I think I pronounced that correctly. He says, question for both of you. Do you think CG will ever make a game mode that is not tied to some kind of direct monetization? Well, we kind of went over this earlier. F to doubt. Everything that they've done for the last few years is made this way. For example, Raid released Grim Forest. No direct money grab, no money gates, just a fun game mode. What you have, try and play. If you want to do better, you invest in your roster, but you are not forced to do so. I think that kind of game mode for Swiggle would be great, but I don't see CG ever doing something like this. Great work from both of you, and keep it up. Well, thank you, Sale. Unfortunately, for better or worse, Galaxy of Heroes doesn't have the same player base as Raid. Raid is really interesting. What Raid seems to try and... It really leans into alt accounts, Raid does. It's got constant investments for brand new accounts to get to have legendary units day one. It's kind of like saying, if you start a new account in the first 2 days, we're going to give you Jedi Knight Luke. And they'll do Jedi Knight Luke one day, and they'll do Darth Revan another day, and they might do Bane. It'll be like ridiculously strong characters, but they'll only be available for new accounts. And what that tends to do is it tends to bring in new people quite quickly. They're like, oh, wow, really powerful unit, but also gets old people to start a new account and be like, oh, let's see what this game's like when I start with Bane, So I feel like the reason Galaxy of Heroes doesn't do that is because it's kind of dependent on the existing captive audience, and it doesn't really do that recycling of getting people to respend.
Yeah, Raid taxes you in so many other places, though. Like they're getting their pound of flesh out of you. They're just distracting you with the smoke and mirrors over here. Like it's not that they do it without monetization. They just monetize you in a place where
it's still very heavily monetized.
Yeah. It's like going on a dinner date with your lawyer, and they offer to pay at the end of it, right? It's like, yeah, but I paid for your time to be here, so I'm basically paying for this meal anyways. But I feel better about it because you've offered to pay for this.
It's funny story about that. In my last company I worked at, we the auditors at the end of an audit had invited the CFO and the CRO to out to dinner at the end of it to sort of like celebrate the end of the audit and stuff like that. They invited them out, and then they invoiced the company for it. It's like, motherfucker, that's cheeky, bro. It's like you invited them out, spent all the money, and then invoiced the company back for the meal out. It's like, that's so cheeky. I love the balls on it. It was great.
But that's the kind of the idea, right? It's like, they just have a different way of getting it out of you. Like, it's just, Swoga's always been a lot more upfront about, this is how we intend to monetize this particular thing.
Yeah.
So that you know about it going into it, that this is going to be a monetized experience. Where it's like all other games, some of them might go, well, this is completely free. You don't have to pay anything to get this.
Yeah.
But look at all these things that just happen to come alongside of it that are motivations to spend, or packs, or whatever that come to the game. It's just, they're businesses. They're there to make money. Nothing happens for free. There's some sort of monetization.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun times. Why would they let you get Bane for easier for free when you can get... Well, what I'm saying, Owie, is it's on new accounts only. So existing accounts would only have the option of buying the Lightspeed bundle, right? Whereas they could get a new player, or they could get an existing player to re-roll an account, start from scratch. Yeah, sure, they don't buy the Bane bundle for $40, but they've got a new account. They're like, oh, maybe now, this new account that I've started, I'm going to buy the Lightspeed bundle. I'm going to buy the Hyperdrive bundle. So they've just recycled money out of people that they wouldn't get otherwise. That's kind of like a large element of Raid's business model. It's getting existing players to continually re-roll new accounts. They do it for fun, and they still get some money out of you. And when you do that at, like, the fact, their player base is about 2 million players a month that log in. So when you do it at such a high level, getting just a fraction of the player base to re-spend money that they've already spent is it's just free money, right? But it's a very different business model.
Reasons I don't want to start a new account.
That's fair. Symmetry asks, going off the assumption that the next era is Mando related, how likely do you think it is that it will be part of the next raid? If it is, what kind do we think that raid would look like in terms of who or what would be facing off against? Really hard to tell right now. I think it will be. I think they're just going to... Oh, what was Fato's idea?
Interesting idea. Like a heist kind of theme with the constables and bounty hunters and things of that nature. Kind of like a heist theme raid where... well, no, because he was talking something about with Cassian's and/or era, but like do like where they escape from the credit raid, the credits sort of the first season, something similar to that, where you basically doing a heist with the different factions that you could reasonably have there. But that wouldn't seem kind of fun for me to do something out of that. But outside of that, I don't know what they would do. I mean, you could do the battle for Mandalore with the Mandalorians and going back there. There's options there, but I don't know. They'll pick something we can fight and call it a day. Something that we can score points against endlessly. Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, I do think it's most likely going to be Mando related. We don't know anything about the film yet. The only thing I'm seeing from that looks like it could be raid related is facing off against Rot of the Hutt. Because it's like, oh, look, there's a Coliseum, there's a battle. It's like fucking that could be a raid. Who knows? But just don't know. So, Bubba Joe says, greetings, Karth, Sonjita, and their little bald friend. I'm the little bald friend this time. Okay. Is there a piece of content, excluding maybe Friday night drinking parties, because duh, that you enjoy making the most? Conversely, is there content that performs exceptionally well that is less enjoyable to make? That second one, I can guarantee you right now, and it's the reason I don't do it. Roster reviews. Roster reviews are the most boring thing to fucking do as a content creator, but everybody wants to see their account up on screen and have a chat about it. So that is repeatable content that you can do ad nauseum to a crowd of 100, 200 people, and people will dutifully sit waiting in line and probably throw money at you to review your account for 5 to 10 minutes. But as a content creator, doing that is like, in my opinion, it's like pulling teeth. So I just don't do it. Fuck the payoff. It's not worth it. It's too much hassle. It's too much boredom for me. So second part, roster reviews. What is the content that I most enjoy doing? I like doing tinfoil hat theories about what's coming to the game. I enjoy doing that. I like speculation. Speculation is fun for me. I get to have a little bit of a rant and talk about things that I think and try to connect dots where evidently there are none.
I enjoy speculation because I like to make up wild theories. And then if I come close to the mark at all, people are like, how did you know?
Karth is a genius. Yeah.
I have connections.
He's got the inside scoop, ladies and gentlemen. Haha, but for real though. Next question comes from Sky. What are your thoughts on combining 3v3 and 5v5 zones in every GAC, but keep the number of zones the same as what we have for 3v3 now? Well, the number of zones are the same. Do you mean the number of teams per zone? So have 15 battles, but you have a mix of 3v3 and 5v5? Would that help spice things up without increasing the time to let players use FTCs and Omicrons? I don't think it changes anything. And plus, I think you managed to successfully piss off both sides of the player base that are like, fuck 3v3, and I love 3v3. Now they just hate both game modes. Because we like to hate. We like to hate. I do think GAC needs to be addressed, though. Sorry, Carl. Go ahead.
I have nothing here.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just stuffing my face over here.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Chips and queso going on.
I love it. N7 Teza says, greetings. I understand that Luthen is practically a requirement for the Andor fighter team, but I'm still a few months out from unlocking him. Which rebel fighter, unwanted stepchild, do you recommend I shove in there for temporary discount Andor team? Diolch Hogya. Diolch yn fawr. So no Luthen in the Cassian team. Presumably you're unlocking Cassian.
I think the other way around. No Cassian.
No, he said he's a couple of months away from Luthen. Yeah, he does. He won't have Luthen probably because he's proving grounds, but he's wailed to maybe a 5-star Cassian. I think that's the situation.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I was thinking the other way around. No Luthen. I mean, realistically, I think the answer is still like
Kyle Katarn? Yeah.
There's none left. I ate them all.
Yeah, I think Kyle Katarn's the only one that makes sense because he actually has some good synergy. And that turn meter preload is always going to be useful. So definitely not good enough as a... it doesn't make up for not having Luthen, but it's still very good. Still very good. So thank you, Teza. Diolch yn fawr. Next one comes from Fat Charlie 369. Random question, but how would you feel as Darth Vader getting a rework to be the new leader of the Inquisitors? Would you like this idea or prefer it to say the same? Interesting.
No, I don't think there needs to be any rework to Darth Vader. I mean, he works well where he's supposed to work right now.
Where is he supposed to work right now? Afra?
Afra.
Yeah.
That's the team he's supposed to be on right now. That's why they didn't really do it. I mean, you can not use him there. You can use Darth Vader on the new Darth Vader team.
But a double bubble Darth Vader.
He does just fine there as well. I mean, there's just it is always the never-ending problem with how this game goes is the more they release, the more they do, the more they come up with, you always get something left behind. And so
yeah,
Darth Vader is kind of in that boat. He works ideally well in 5v5 with Afra because it gives that team a little control and helps her ramp her siphon stacks, and Vader can usually nuke somebody with his massive offensive boost for one turn. And so I mean, it's not like the team's in a bad spot and that Vader needs to do anything there. But, I mean, the Inquisition doesn't need another leader. Because, I mean, what happens if the Inquisition gets another leader? We're going to do the exact same thing we did last time they got another leader. We take all the best units and put it under that leader. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, now, I can't imagine Vader would displace Reva. Like, Reva's pretty good.
No, I can't imagine either. But I mean, at the same time, it's like there are probably going to be a couple more Inquisition characters coming out of the woodwork in the long term here, where they might maybe eventually get Reva and GI separated.
Oh, could you?
But
imagine?
Outside of that, yeah, I can't imagine making Reva worse. But they might give us another character that doesn't work with GI that replaces GI on that team and allows GI to build his own team, and then GI gets some more support to be a bigger threat on his own, because obviously Reva is the Wombo combo.
The Wombo combo.
Well, I mean, you need her to get the 5 stacks of Purge, and then GI gives the 1, and then GI takes the bonus turn. So another way for Gia to take a bonus turn. You put that on another team and basically don't allow third sister there, and you're fine. But
Yeah.
I mean, with the Maul show from the trailers, we know the Inquisition comes back.
Yep.
To the show, and Bird Brain comes back, and he can't die yet because he dies later. And then there's other Inquisitors that could still be there, and there's still ones from Kenobi and the Tales of the Jedi series that could still show up. I mean, Fourth Sister is still an option. She's in multiple shows, so they could still bring in other things to fill out the rest of this particular team if they really, really wanted to. So, I mean, there are options what they want to do, but I don't think Darth Vader getting a rework is the way to solve that problem.
No, me neither. Fat Charlie has another question. He says, "What do you think about adding another TB as another planet?" I think he means. Oh, adding another TB as Rote has been out. No, Rote is designed to be long term and constantly expanded on. I don't think they're going to do a whole new TB just yet. I think we're still going to see additional planets come to Rote rather than a whole new TB. Like, we can't even get close to maxing out Rote just yet. What is it, like 56 stars in total? I think is the cap, something like that. And I think the biggest guild is hitting like 51, 52. And the remaining stars are well out of reach. I want to say.
It's below at this point.
Plus, I think the whole model for Rote was a case of we can always expand it. We can add an additional planet, which will increase the star cap and stuff like that. I don't think we'll get a new TB just yet.
No,
eventually,
the idea with TV or with Rote was always to be able to be modular and expanded upon and adjusted as needed.
Yeah.
So I mean, could they change the theme behind TB? Sure, they could change the theme, but which might large scale replace multiple planets, but they will never. The model that exists there now is probably never going to change. It's never going to be like a new one. They'll just change they'll find a way to change the backdrop and go, okay, here's a rise of the old Republic, and then now we're going to go do missions themed on that kind of thing. But the model should still stay the same.
Yep. Okay, so let me just get back over to the questions over here. Moven Lipost says, if you've quit the game and come back, at what point in time do you think it's better to restart than continue an old account? That's a really individual question. Generally speaking, I think your biggest concern is you're never going to get to the top of Fleet Arena in an old account. Like, if you go into and Fleet Arena is, the reason why that's important is because Fleet Arena gives you crystals, right? And it's the best way to progress. Unless it's totally dead. But
if your top 10 doesn't have all Leviathans, then it might be worth.
Well, I mean, the easiest way to go is if you go to Fleet Arena and you check ranks, and if you see a bunch of people in Fleet Arena that have got no guild, that means that they're not active, right? And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. If you can push straight away to try and get a good fleet and just climb to the top of Fleet Arena, I think it's unlikely. Generally speaking, you're almost always better off just starting a new account, unless you can already get to the top of Fleet Arena. That would probably be the broad strokes of it, Moven.
Well harder. Solve your problem.
And Karth's solution is melting plastic. He also says, with the Inquisitor Lightspeed token... With the Inquisitor Lightspeed tokens in the game, would you recommend pushing them up to Relic 5 to get Grand Inquisitor? I would say only if you are in a position to also get Reaver. Grand Inquisitor on his own it's not that he's garbage, he's just not very good, right? You need to have Reaver. In order to unlock Reaver, you need to be doing a special mission in Rote, which requires R7 Grand Inquisitor and R7 Inquisitor allies. So it kind of feeds into that. But unless you're in a guild that is in a position that you're farming Reaver or you can get Reaver shards, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's good to have. It's good to prep to be there, but it's not a high priority in my opinion. I'm sure Karth probably agrees with me on that one.
Well, sorry.
It's all right, mate.
Before they nuke the crap out of the Empire counters to the things, there wasn't a reason to push Scythe early. But now with that change, there's no point. you're just neutered. So unless you have access to Reva, there's no reason to rush GI. They're not used for anything. They're not a requirement for anything. It's just another team. Their best feature is when they're purge feat in Conquest.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. And to get that done really efficiently, you need Reaver anyway. All right.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Roy. How you doing, Roy? Sanjita? He's not here, unfortunately. How's it been since you had your daughter combining? We can't answer that one for him, but he did say he was having a wonderful time. Seeing the overall impact of the previous era units, Asajj, Inquirers Libera, Stormtrooper Luke, and Vader Duel's End, do you have a feeling or idea that the new era units, ISB and Andor, will have the same level of impact? I think the impact of the anniversary era has been kind of broad. We've had some real big hitters, like Maul under Stranger, big. Darth Vader Duel's End, big. But then you have like Asajj, kind of middling, and Yoda and Chewbacca, kind of middling, and Stormtrooper Luke, kind of middling. I know Karth loves them, but
I mean, what they're doing right now is not much, but that's also because of the fact of what was available to them to counter them initially was, easy for a lot of people to have access to.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of the coin too is that with the state of PvP in the game, having extra B teams does nothing. They're good teams, but they're B teams. They're not your top runners, and most people are saving their one-hit counters for offense anyway. So it's like, I was listening to Fatal talk about this on his stream a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I love using these teams, but it's like when I'm coming down to my last fight, and it's like, do I use JMK or Wookiees?
Yeah,
it's like
I'll use JMK.
I'm going to use JMK and Underman and pull back 2 extra banners or whatever you need, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at right now, is that we're so saturated on what's available for offense and defense that these teams don't really get a chance to shine in any meaningful capacity. And even with the focus Datacrons, they're just not enough to do anything. You're talking about 2 characters that have not seen much of any kind of touch-up or rework, and 1 new character, and the best team they can kind of come up with right now isn't really a meta-defining team. And so it's like, yeah, you're not expected to have this thing pop off and anything crazy. So, I mean, they're all good. I love using Asajj on offense. There are some things that just watching her melt teams is so satisfying. It's the equivalent of watching Darth Vader do his second special and half the board disappears, if not the entire board. And so, I mean, those are types of things where the teams are solid. They're just, they're not doing the thing because there's better options. Like, I can't remember the last time we called Dad Bod Bova as a counter for anything in TW. But
we have, but it's it does work. It's actually very powerful, but it's also like my experience. It's also kind of messy. I think we've been using it to counter stuff like Glat in the past, and that's really hairy because of all the turn meter gains. You basically murder yourself. So, but anyway, Karth, have you seen Maul yet? I think you have, haven't you?
Mm-mm.
No, you're waiting until they're all released.
I'm probably gonna wait till it's all out and then I'll binge it.
Sorry.
That's always with how Disney has been doing all their animated shows as of late, even their live action. They lean more heavily into being a X-part like movie and not like a TV show. So there's too much tied together that you need to be able to see in conjunction to allow you to understand what's trying to happen and transpire there. And waiting a week in between gives you too much time to analyze and stew on things, and then the part comes up and you're either disappointed because it's not what you had theorized or whatever else. And so for me, it's just far easier to go, okay, I don't mind seeing it. Nothing's going to spoil it for me. I'm still going to enjoy it when I go to watch it, but I'm going to wait to watch it until it's all out in one go, because otherwise you get really butthurt about things when you have way too much time to think about it.
Yeah. Yep. So I've seen it. I'm quite happy watching it. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I definitely enjoy it more than Bad Batch. So the vibe is more aura farms for 20-30 minutes an episode. That's kind of it. I'm interested to see where it goes.
The Jedi Master of The Apprentice that Maul will eventually woo I believe.
Sorry, that makes it sound like Maul's going to woo the Jedi Master there. I'm like, oh, right then. Unexpected turns.
No, that Jedi Master, I want to say, is the one that you kill on Force Unleashed. Well, this is the same species. When we go to Raxus to fight the crazy guy with the spider legs.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not him.
Species,
Same species, but it's not him, yeah.
Yeah.
Technicalities.
Here comes Starkiller. We need him back, okay? Maul is bringing back Starkiller, okay? That's what
Sam Witwer just wants to take over all of Star Wars, apparently. He's like, yep.
I mean, I have had worse wet dreams. That's all I'm saying.
He can be proxy as well, that's fine. Okay, and one final question from Lion LL. He says, can we have more videos from the community on Coliseum tactics and comps alongside each era? Only Bit Dynasty really does them. I've never really done them because they're a bit of a pain in the ass to record, right? Because you think about it, you've got 4 days of rotating, so you have to try and plan ahead. You have to figure out the strat with a limited number of battles, unless I want to spend 250 crystals refreshing that, right? To figure out the comp that's going to change in 2 weeks when we get a new unit, and it's going to be incredibly dependent on the level of error levels you've invested in your team. So you can do high-level strats, but they change based on your error level, and they change based on the unit that you're facing, and they change based... It's just really annoying content to make. So I have considered it, but I just don't know how to do it in a way that is useful. Because everybody's going to be at a different point. Everybody's going to have a different level of investment in their team, you know? And like I said, you'll have to record for 4 days straight, because you'll have to do, you know, one for each boss to say this is how you tackle this boss and this boss and this boss and this boss with this team comp at this particular time. So, I mean, I can try it, but it's not something I'm massively confident in being able to get it to land well. I think that's the only thing. Plus, a lot of people just don't fucking like Coliseum. So I'm not sure how popular it'll be.
The problem is that it's not really useful information until you get to a certain part of the era. Usually somewhere in that like 6 to 8 weeks when we have enough characters to actually have comps matter. Now, like with the last era where we had just dumb fuckery of units that all had their all faction tags shared, that one you could have had more fun with, right? There would have been a way once we got the 5 units to kind of like mix and match for which boss, what does better, what does this, what does that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, it's like basically you're going to run ISB for like tiers 4 and 5 and maybe through 6. But then for 7 and 8, you're back to Rebel Fighters. And if you don't get Cassian, then you're stuck. There's nothing better you can do. The ISB will do better than the Rebel Fighters will at the end if you don't do anything to get Cassian unlocked. But I mean, it's like what can I really tell you? Like there are ways you can analyze every single thing for the move set and for the turns and what to use when and how and da. But you know, it's something that's going to change every other week for, you know, 8 to 10 weeks, and then, you know, it's just not going to be relevant content because once it expires, no one's going to go back and look it up. No one in a year from now is going to look at what Rebel Fighters beat Jotaz, because we're not going to be there anymore. It's fleeting content very quickly.
Yeah,
it's hard to be motivated to do. Not impossible, just hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is from a guy who creates one piece of Star Wars content a week.
You do, and it is repeatable content, to be fair, because we can always talk about how spending money and stop being poor and
the only thing that has changed is we record this. I would talk to myself for 2 hours regardless.
Yeah, it's actually true. Karth actually just sits in this chat room and he just talks all the time. It's just sometimes we happen to be live whilst that happens.
Yeah. My favorite are the ones that occur in my shower, because that's when my wife has to pop her head in and like, are you going crazy in here? And I'm like, no, the the echo is really nice, so it sounds like there's somebody else actually here when I'm talking to myself.
It's like I'm trying to convince Meathead to release more Relic 10 packs, honey. Okay?
No. I'm trying to convince Meathead to release Galen Merrick and Juno Eclipse and Proxy and
Well, obviously.
Rom Coda.
I mean, that has to happen.
I'll even take Maris Brood for the last one.
Yep. Whatever works.
Yeah, I'm trying to get those what's the right word for that? Telepathic thoughts out to Meathead.
Oh, yes. The smoke signals of the brain. Well, that makes it sound like you're having some sort of aneurysm, to be honest, but maybe not.
I mean,
yeah.
Could be.
Could be.
Low grade, 15% aneurysm, just kind of smoking the brakes a little bit.
Do you smell burning wood? Anyway, we've reached the end of our questions.
I use lotion now.
Yeah.
That helps.
Things we don't need to know about Karth. Yeah, we've reached the end of our questions and the end of our time here on this episode of Tribe Talks. I want to thank everybody at home for sitting through it, struggling through it, like the rest of us. And Karth, I want to thank you as well, buddy. It's been fun. It's been real.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably do it again sometime in like a week or something.
Give a nice little special shout out to Sanja for joining us today.
Fuck yes.
Very nice to have him on. Kind of a little short, but I'm sure we can always circle back and get him on. Next time we might just need to front load his appearance with all your guys' questions for him directly, so we can get that out of the way. I know he's got a little bit more time constraints, and I did not think of that until he was like, "Yeah, I got it balanced." I'm like, "Oh, right, that makes sense."
Shit, sorry.
We will do better to host better on the next episode of Tribe Talks that Sanja does show up for.
We'll try our best.
You guys can get your full Monty on that one.
Yeah. All right. Groovy. Thank you, everybody. We will see you all tomorrow for not GAC, I guess. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Bye.